Hi, in this video we are going to be cleaning up this Tabasco box. Now you can see that this is just a Tabasco box that was taken apart and unfolded. But if you were to design this Tabasco box, this is how you would get the blank. They would give you, this is what the box size is going to be, and you would come in here and design all these sections to fit, but we're not going to do the tabs and stuff. We're just going to cut out the main part here and make that work. It's ideally we would flatten this box out and recreate the box, and we can still do that, but we don't need some of this stuff. Some of this stuff is just from the printing company. The gray tests, the barcode of the print, the color tests, the company, all sorts of weird stuff. Okay, so first I'm going to bring up the crop tool. And oops, first of all, I'm going to unlock the layer so I can do stuff to it. And I'm going to bring up the crop tool. My crop tool is really tiny. I don't know why it's so small. And I'm going to crop it so that we can see all the corners. Like, I don't want to crop into it. I want to be able to see all the corners to this main green square area. Double tap that and kind of make it smaller. All right, now I'm going to select it all. I'm going to hit Control T, and then by holding down the Control thing, I can individually move these corner squares here so that I can get this flush with the edges. And I'm just going to take each of these corners and move them so that they're exactly in the corner. And that gives us a roughly rectilinear surface to be working on. You can see it's kind of raised here a little bit, but beggars can't be choosers. Okay. Looks like I can lose a little bit at the top too. There, a little bit more. There we go. All right, so then the next thing I want to do is to isolate the different pieces that are on here. We're going to, like anything that's a picture, we need to get out of here because we're going to use those pictures. In creating, I'm not going to make you recreate the model or these illustrations. It takes way too long, but I will make you redo the fonts and the color and the background and stuff. So then the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to come over here, and instead of a square, I'm going to hold down and pull out a circle. And if I hold down Shift, it makes a perfect circle. If I hold down Shift, it makes a perfect circle. There it is. And I can come in here. I'm going to zoom in because I can't see what the heck I'm doing. All right, we'll just do this middle one because I'm right here. And then I want to grab everything in the white. I'm going to hit Control X and then Control V. And you see it's over here, it's made its own little layer of that, and I'm going to turn that off. And then I can come back here and just select in this circle. And then move that circle down, just kind of drag it down, and that should be similar to the next one. We need Control X, Control V, same thing. Go ahead and hide that one. Come back to the bottom layer because that's where we're working. Oops, use the magic. One thing, select inside, drag that up there. Now don't worry that this isn't exactly right. We can create perfect circles and then take our images and put them into it. We do that a little bit later. All right, so I've isolated the 3 images. You can see they're all here. If I zoom out, turn that off, I can turn those on. We have our 3 different Tabasco images. And now we can come over here and we need to select this Tabasco box. Now, usually, if there wasn't so much stuff, I'd say we could use some of the fun new tools in Photoshop. I guess here we can try and do that. I can select the bottle. Maybe this will be faster. We'll see. Select the bottom. Make sure you're on the bottom layer. Control X, Control V. It's actually Shift Control V, paste in place. Go like this. Come up here. Go select subject. Let's see if this works. Nope, not even a little bit. But, select sky. That didn't work either. All right. Well, so it works on contrast, and there's not a whole lot of contrast in here. But now that we've isolated this, we can just come in here and using the selection tools, we can get some of this, get rid of the bigger chunks. It gets hard to see with the squares in the back. So sometimes what I will do is create a layer that's a totally different color than what I'm using, just so I can see what I'm doing. So now if I come in here, I'll be able to see the edge. So we can now take the eraser if we want and make sure that you don't have any of these pressure things on. It has to be like 100%. Oops, got to be on the right layer. And now I can come in with the eraser and oops. And I can very meticulously erase that stuff. Now stuff that's like this, where it bevels and stuff, is harder to get, or where here, where it's curved, it's a bit harder to select. But stuff like this, we can switch to the polygonal lasso tool, and I can just click in here like this, and it gives us a really nice straight line. So this is the one I did by hand over here. And you can see it's not as good as the one over there. So we'll do that over there too. And we can do that here too. I can just put this here, go down to here. Oops, keep turning it off. And this works like a polygon tool where you just click, 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 and then to close it, you click back at the start, and then anything in there is selectable. Yeah. Down here, right, this is harder to do. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll get a selection tool, like a circle, and then drag it out so it's really big, and then try and match that curve there, because that's really hard to get. And then select inverse, and then using the eraser tool, I can get a nice sharp edge to it, sharper than I could have with just my hand. And then I can come back in and very carefully trim the edges. Oops, I still got this one. Okay, pretty good. So now that we've got a clean bottle, we can move on to the next step. And that will be in our next movie. So get all these things back in here. Get rid of my red layer. You can see I mucked up the green bit here. We can fill that in if you want. We can do these ones too. Basically what we're going to do is make a green plate in the next thing, so I'll stop working on that. All right, next one. See you then.